How does a creator step into his creation? How does the sovereign of a universe become a helpless child? The greatest mystery of all time begins, not with thunder, but with silence, not with armies, but with an infant's cry. This is the descent of Michael of Nebadon, a divine transition that would forever transform the universe and earth. In the high courts of Salvington, the farewell had been spoken. Jesus, the Creator's Son, had accepted the final bestowal, the mission that would take him to Urantia, our world. The moment was cosmic in scope. All Nebadon paused. 1 billion worlds held their breath. Every angel, every celestial being, every sphere of light knew something monumental was unfolding. Jesus was about to vanish from the heavenly realms and reappear as a mortal child, born of woman. On August 21st, 7 BC, as midnight neared on earth, a series of divine processes were set in motion. Under the direction of Gabriel, the chief executive of Nebadon, celestial administrators prepared to carry out Jesus' transition. Emmanuel had already assumed sovereignty in Salvington, holding the reins of the universe while Jesus was absent. Now, the attention of millions turned to a small village in Judea, in a land ruled by Rome, yet destined to birth a king not of this world. Jesus had personally chosen his human parents. Joseph, a noble-hearted descendant of David, quiet and steady. Mary, a devout, spiritually attuned young woman from a long line of faith. These two were not perfect, but they were pure. They would provide the stability and love necessary for the Son of Man to flourish. No magic surrounded them, no supernatural signs, only the quiet whisper of destiny. Gabriel was dispatched to Nazareth, appearing to Mary in the twilight of her prayers. "Fear not, Mary, for you have found favor with God. You shall bear a son, and you shall call his name Jesus." Mary was shaken, but she accepted the divine purpose with grace. Days later, Joseph also received assurance in a dream, preparing him to stand by her despite the potential scandal. And then, the miracle no eye could see. Jesus, this magnificent sovereign creator, willingly laid down his divine awareness. He didn't just disguise himself, he became one of us. He did not teleport. He did not possess a body. He allowed himself to be fused with the genetic material of a human embryo in Mary's womb. From that moment on, he was fully human and yet still divine. In the higher realms, Nebadon paused. Angels of all orders, seraphim, archangels, mighty messengers held silent vigil. No divine power would intervene, no celestial being would assist. The Creator's Son was now a human fetus dependent on the nourishment of a mother. The infinite had entered the finite. This bestowal was unlike any before it. While all Creator's sons must live a mortal life before achieving full sovereignty, Jesus' mission was unique. Urantia was not a glorious world. It was a confused, rebellious, and spiritually dark planet, the very site of past celestial betrayals. And that is why he chose it, not to showcase power, but to redeem the lowest, to bring light where darkness had taken root, to show that even the most broken world could become the birthplace of eternal hope. As the month passed, Mary's belly grew with child, unaware that she bore the architect of time. Heaven watched, not with might, but with reverence, for the Creator had entered his creation not to conquer, but to serve. Next time, we witness the moment all creation waited for, the birth of Jesus of Nazareth, a baby wrapped in cloth and in divine purpose. Before a baby's cry pierced the stillness of Bethlehem, before ink met parchment to tell his tale, there was a witness, silent, watchful, waiting, a secondary midwayer, once the unseen guide of the Apostle Andrew, entrusted with a sacred mission, to guard the story the Master never wrote, to preserve the life, the mission, the divine truth of the Son of God. Welcome to Tales of Urantia, where eternity meets history and the celestial becomes personal. And now, this is where the story truly begins. When Jesus arrived on earth, the world wasn't drowning in darkness. No, Urantia was alive, spiritually stirred, politically unified, and intellectually alert. It was the perfect hour for a divine visit. Greek language and culture created bridges from east to west. The Jews, those resilient children of Abraham, stood at the center, fluent in both spirit and civilization. And Rome, with its might and order, built the roads that would soon carry the gospel of a kingdom not of this world. Three great forces laid the foundation: Roman law and power, Greek wisdom and words, Jewish hope and holiness. For the first time in history, the Mediterranean world was a single connected stage, ready for truth to walk upon it. In that time, Palestine was more than a province. It was the bridge between three continents, a sacred highway where cultures collided, traded, and transformed. The Jews, scattered but faithful, had built a network of synagogues from Jerusalem to Rome, and through those humble gatherings, monotheism lived on, awaiting a revelation far greater than they could imagine. They yearned for a Messiah, a deliverer, a son of David to liberate them from Rome, but their hopes were still too small. Meanwhile, Herod the Great, a Roman puppet, rebuilt cities, temples, ports. His ambition served a purpose, unknowingly preparing the land for a message that would one day reach the world. At the heart of it all stood the temple, still burning with the promise of a God not just of Israel, but of all mankind. Beyond the borders of Judea, the Roman world was sharply divided. At the top, aristocrats and wealthy merchants. In the middle, a small rising class of tradesmen and thinkers. At the bottom, free laborers and millions of slaves. Yet it was here, among the forgotten and the broken, that the early church found its footing. Slaves rose in faith, the poor found meaning, and the gospel echoed through alleyways and palaces alike. Christianity wasn't a social revolution, it was a spiritual awakening. While the Jews guarded their law, the Gentiles chased ideas. Epicureans searched for happiness. Stoics worshipped reason and fate. Cynics preached virtue and simplicity in the streets. Skeptics believed in nothing and questioned everything. Brilliant minds, beautiful thoughts, but no one answered the soul's cry. Who am I in the eyes of the divine? Religion was ritual. It was national pride. It was mythology. They worshipped emperors, read the stars, chanted secret rites and mystery cults that promised salvation, but never delivered peace. But in their confusion was hunger, a cry for meaning, a longing for love, and into that longing came Jesus, not with temples or secrets, but with truth, not a myth, but a man, not another ritual, but a relationship. He didn't ask for sacrifice, he offered sonship. He didn't promise magic, he revealed the Father. So amid scattered philosophies, fading traditions, and fragmented hopes, the Creator stepped into creation, not to conquer with might, but to restore with light, not to dominate, but to dwell among us. This was the time of Michael's bestowal, and this is only the beginning. See you Next time on Tales of Urantia.